Join PCTechForum.net is a new site. And so we'll be discussing everything related to tech news. They'll be discussing the latest processors, graphic cards, laptops, hard drives, computer cases. They also have a section for pre-built PCs and custom-built PCs, and also a PC straight from the manufacturer. They also be discussing the operating systems and how to troubleshoot them. And said, last but not least, they'll also be discussing the latest games and business. The site is brand new, so people will join for the first time on there. So come and sign up today at PCTechForum.net.
Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm so pleased to be a contributor here on African Diaspora News Channel. Please make sure that as you come in, you give us a big thumbs up, and share this broadcast. Would you? Thank you so very much. Family, I have some very, very, very good news. What is it, Vicki? Listen, 4 former and current Louisville police detectives federally charged in Breonna Taylor raid. Somebody black talk black to me. The U.S. Department of Justice has charged 4 former and current Louisville police officers with federal crimes in connection with the fatal raid on Breonna Taylor's home in 2020. Ex-detectives Joshua Janez, Brett Hankinson, and current officers Kyle Meany and Kelly Goodlett face charges that include civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force and obstruction, Attorney General Merrick Garland said. Hankinson previously was the only officer charged in the raid. A Jefferson County grand jury found him not guilty, of wanton endangerment charges earlier this year. Now, don't get it twisted. Yes, I know that this is the Democrats trying to galvanize support amongst their most faithful voters, which are black people. They know that even the bones and biscuits, that means that the useless black civil rights groups, organizations, and individuals that have blindly voted for the Democratic Party without requiring any substantive pro-black legislation. Now, we believe in voting. We believe in being smart with your vote. See, we believe that since they credit us, black people, for getting the Democrats and Joe Biden and Kamala and them in office, it only makes sense that we should get something, and not the Ukrainians, not just the Ukrainians, and not the Afghans, and not the LGBT, and not the immigrants, legal and illegal. We ought to be able to get something for that. And so far, we've got nothing that's a specific pro-black policy, which that's our demand. Somebody say reparations now. We don't need y'all to tell us what they can't do. We don't need you to tell us special infrastructure and special rules and protocols and hoops that we need to jump through. The billions of dollars that we sent over to Ukraine, no hoops. When we were dealing with the global plague, over $1 trillion plus dollars was sent to most Americans, and they got a couple of checks. No special nothing. When the AAPI community, the Asian Pacific Islanders, got $50 million and legal protections in 1 year's time, because they said they dealt with some racism over the time of the global plague. And the Democrats utilized money that was already in the government. They just redirected money that was in different departments and different agencies in the government and redirected it specifically for the Asian Pacific Islander community. We don't need to do nothing extra. We don't need reparations councils and studies and stuff. We don't need special plebiscites and stuff. You pull out $1 trillion out your behinds, and billions out your behinds, and millions out your behinds in a blink of an eye. Cut the check to us. That's how we are being strategic and wise with our votes. Talk black to me, somebody. I'm bringing this also up because I want you to be clear that with this Breonna Taylor stuff, that had to do with the way we, the new black true media that uses alternative means to get the news to you, to get commentary to you, we are the ones that gave this type of momentum. Yes, you heard other black-looking news people and news organizations cover the story, but they didn't cover it from the jump like we did. They did not demand charges, criminal charges against these officers and stuff. They weren't bold with their coverage and the type of perspective that we gave to this issue. We led the way in this topic. Talk black to me. Before Oprah Winfrey and them put up billboards of Breonna Taylor, do you know that the new black media members had already had a billboard up of our sister? And I know I certainly was covering the story from the jump and in ways that the others were not. Talk black to me. So this is us that's putting the pressure on these governmental agencies to go after true criminals. I'm your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard. You best believe I'm going to be all over this topic. Be sure to follow me on my new network at vickydillard.tv. Of course, share and subscribe to African Diaspora News Channel and the multiple platforms that our dear brother has here. And also be sure to join my absolutely amazing weekly, most weeks for the month, mastermind courses in my new school at Vicki University. Register today for only $44 at VickiPlanet.com. The link is below, VickiPlanet.com. Every week, for most weeks at least, for the month, you're going to be getting unprecedented supernatural insight that's going to give you the advantage in every area of your life if you're consistent. I'm talking about true spiritual people. I'm looking forward to students from all over the world to join. Go to VickiPlanet.com. I can promise you, your life will never be the same.
Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.